And we are back. Hello, 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 hello. I want to welcome you to the Nicole Johnson show on Girl Your Money Matters, affectionately known as the gym, where we have all sorts of exercises to help you get and stay financially fit. I want to thank you guys as you're coming into the room, as you're coming into the online streams, whether you're over there on YouTube, in the various online streaming where we go, or if you're following us on KCCR Radio. We want to thank you for being here with us tonight. I needed to switch it up for this evening. We were planning to do our financial affairs, but due to some unforeseen circumstances, I had to push that off to next week's topic. But don't worry, we are still going to have an episode for you where we talk about all of your financial affairs. It's that time of year. Financial planning is important. As you guys get together and we start hanging out with our family for the holidays and things of that nature, I want you to understand how important it is to have your financial affairs in order. So, we're going to do a whole episode on that next Monday, 1 week from tonight, because I want to make sure that you are equipped and ready. So tonight's topic, tonight we're going to talk about holiday preparation. For some people, the holidays are full of joy and full of excitement, getting to see family that we might not have seen in a long time, and especially with the pandemic where a lot of people were not visiting. Now we're coming together. But for some, the holidays are not as joyous, right? The holidays are not as joyous. It could be for many reasons, loss of a loved one, and this is your first holiday season without them, recent divorce. There are all sorts of reasons. Your children are adults and they have their own families and they're spread out. Military, all sorts of reasons why families are not together, or that this may not be the best time of the year. So I wanted to talk about holiday preparation. I wanted to spend some time talking about holiday preparation. And this ties into your money matters because it can impact how you do your holiday prep, impacts your spending. Okay. Listen, we life around here. We do everything that involves our lives. Um, because somehow, some way it ties into our finances, right? And then sometimes we just need to let our head down and have a little fun, have a little conversation, have a little real life discussion about things that impact us as women. Okay. So one of the first things I want to talk about is sometimes if you're alone, right? There's some people out here that are going to spend this holiday season alone. And from the self care perspective, I want you to get in your mind that it's okay. There are a lot of things to do out and about town. And if not, maybe you need some rest. Maybe you need some rest. There have been some holidays where it's been, just me. And I learned there are a lot of things I like to do by myself, and catching up on reading a good book. Sometimes sitting back looking through old movies. Oh my gosh, the old movies that are on TV during the holiday season, or that you can download, watch on YouTube, because we're always looking at costs, right? We're always looking at costs. We're always looking at the cost. You can do that, but mentally, I want you to prepare yourself to spend time by yourself if that's your situation. Okay. Girl, don't be afraid to spend time with you. You are your best company sometimes. Okay. It's also a good time to take a break from the job and then start thinking about the end of the year. How are we closing out the end of the year? But what are the things that we want to do in next year? Because my goal for you is to start shifting your mindset about how you do things, how you see things, and preparation. My daughter used to hate that I would be projecting stuff a year or two ahead. She's like, Mommy, what about now? I'm like, now is here and the future. She said, but you know, everybody, tomorrow ain't promised to everybody, but if it shows up, I want you to be prepared. Okay? I want you to be prepared. So this can be in the things that we want to accomplish. Goals don't get accomplished by accident. You hear me say a lot. A lot of what I teach to my clients is strategy. How do you plan and prepare and strategize to accomplish those goals? You must have a strategy. So if you plan on, shopping, grocery shopping, right? This is not the time to be in the store the day before the holiday. Don't let nobody catch you in the store on Wednesday before Thanksgiving. One, you're gonna be disappointed. Let's talk about that. You will be disappointed because a lot of what you need won't even be there. Okay, a lot of what you need won't be there. The grocery store still looking like it needs to go grocery shopping. Hmm, that part, right? And it's been that way since the pandemic started. Okay, so let's start there. The weekend, like this weekend, is a great time to get in there to get all your seasonings and stuff that you need to cook. If you're cooking for yourself, this is the time to get in there and get it. Okay. But if you plan to go out and about, make sure you find where you want to go. Right. And sometimes I'm not a cold weather person, but sometimes a nice brisk walk clear your mind, give you some new perspective. As I said, I'm a planner. So right now, one of the things over the holiday season that I'll take the time to do is work on my goals. So this was my goal. This was my vision board, my portable vision board for 2022. It's got my set tabs, my sections. Okay. One is for finances, one is travel, one is health, one is business, one is personal. Okay. So this is what I'll spend my time doing for me over the next few weeks. And that's important to me because it helps me plan out my next year. Okay. But I have some bigger goals that I need. And because this is portable, I can take this with me. So when I go to work, when I work on things as far as the finances or things that I want to, that are in progress, I can take it to work. I can work on it on my lunch break. When it's things going on at work, when I need to get refocused on what I'm trying to do, it's sitting right there in front of me. Keep my goals in front of me. Keep my goals in front of me because it helps me stay focused. But there are some bigger goals that I'm working on for 2023, which actually goes from 23 into 24. So instead of the traditional vision board, I like to use something like this, right? Um, that's what I'll be working on. And I'm going to be able to section this off and then flip it over and put some stuff on the other side if I need to. But it'll allow me to keep my bigger goals. And then I've got the back double backing tape where I can put it up and it'll keep those goals in the space where I sit most frequently. And that's an eye catcher. That is so where it stays in front of me. So, and that's important. I'm a visual learner, right? So I need to see things, and those reminders are helpful. So take some time if you're going to be by yourself. Take some time to prepare yourself for your new season, right? Because in the season of being alone, that is where we, as people, especially as women, we get to nurture ourselves, okay? Because once you get into that relationship, you begin to nurture with someone. And you don't always have the time to nurture yourself individually, especially when that thing new. That thing new is always you and boo, you and boo, you and boo, okay? So take this time to enjoy you. I won't say it's big. You can be alone, just not lonely, right? Spend some time learning and developing yourself so that when the boo comes along, then you can pour into and ensure that you know what your values are, what your worth is, and you understand and will only accept someone who pours into you as much as you're pouring into them. I'm gonna let that marinate for a minute. That's say be yourself, okay? Be yourself. But that let me say that part again. Understand how you need to be poured into so that when you find someone, you're looking for the signs and the signals that they're pouring into you just as much as you're pouring into them because you can't pour from an empty cup. All right, ladies? Okay. Now, some of us are getting together with family. And if you know, like I know, it's always that one cousin, that one uncle, that one somebody that when you see them, you be like, you really showed up. Go on, tell the truth. Go on, tell the truth. I know I ain't the only one. You really showed up. And if you don't feel like that, maybe you the one that everybody looking at saying you really showed up. Come on now. Okay. So family time is meant to be fun, right? Um, when I moved to Birmingham, my friend Kim, her family always included me. And Kim was always the one to go and make sure that there were games to play, activities to do, and everything. So it's a good time for you to reminisce. It's a good time for you to spend time with your family, um, let your hair down, have a lot of fun. Okay, enjoy that time together because someone somewhere is watching this and thinking, you know, 6 weeks ago I was with my cousin and now they're not here, or my brother, or my sister, or my friend, and they're not here for this holiday. Tomorrow is not promised to any of us, all right? But we want to enjoy the time that we have with our loved ones now, okay? So let me say this because it can be standard. It can happen where we've had a falling out, um, and we haven't quite put things to rest. Okay. Now, mind you, I ain't touching on those deep issues. I'm not touching on that at all. But is it worth it to continue to carry that grudge, those hurt feelings? It's not. It's not. But Nicole, you don't understand. You're right. I don't. I don't know what happened. But for you, for me, is it worth the stress to hold on to it and not just look past it and at least be civilized? Take that approach, okay? Um, and I'm gonna say this now. One of the things that I love about Paulette and the Brownstone worldwide is that we get a chance to change the narrative for our Black and Brown people, but we can start with changing that narrative right in our own family. Too many families are broken and there's tension and dissension between us for reasons that if you really sit and think about it, that was 5 years ago, that was 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and it's still being held on to and festered and nurtured like it happened today. Is it worth it? Is the division worth it? It's not. A lot of families don't have the big mamas and the papas or the pops, to sit the family down and make sure it stays cohesive. So where does it start? Why not with you? Okay, now the toxicity, I'm not touching on that. I'm not talking about that at all because we all deserve to be away from toxic people and relationships. I totally understand that. Releasing toxic people and relationships is a necessity for our own peace of mind. But some stuff that folks are bickering about, It's not worth it. It's not that toxic. It's not toxic at all. Okay. So as you spend time with your family, you know, find out something about them that you didn't know. Ask them about their goals. What is it that they're trying to accomplish? How can you pray for them to reach that goal? How can you be a more supportive person to them? And what is it that you need from them to support yourself? That's how the bonds grow. Okay, that's how the bonds grow. And it's important that we continue to help our families and relationships grow within our community because we have so much strife around us as a community. Let me say that again. It is important for us to grow within our community because we have so much strife outside of our community. And if we don't change the narrative for our own family, how can we change the narrative for our community? How does that work? Make it make sense for me. Okay. So if you're spending time with family, get real good at loving on them. All right. Preparing for them, preparing to enjoy that time together. Okay. And then as you get back to the hustle and bustle of life to go on and do this again in the Christmas season, one of the things I used to love is that traditionally you have standard Thanksgiving dinner. We all know what Thanksgiving dinner look like in our household, right? We know what that table can look like, and countertops, the stove, in the stove, on top of the stove, everywhere, right? The desserts in the refrigerator, all that kind of stuff. Okay, and then we turn around and do it again for Christmas. That was a lot. So each year, my mom and I, and my sisters, we would get together and decide, okay, we're gonna have a traditional Thanksgiving and a non-traditional Christmas dinner. And so, whatever, or we'd have a traditional Christmas dinner and a non-traditional Thanksgiving dinner. So we would, because it was, in that short span of time for us. Now that's what worked for us. Yeah, I want y'all to do whatever makes y'all happy. The goal is, as Leanne says, wake up happy, and we need you to be happy. But this is just something to consider. We would pick a theme for a meal. And we had a lot of fun with it. And then sometimes we do just a whole potluck. You cook a dish, you cook a dish. Don't nobody tell anybody what it is, and see how many dishes show up the same or how totally different. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. So make the holidays what you want it to be. Just make it memorable. Just make it memorable. Okay, so that's the talk about the holiday preparation. Um, for you business owners, let me switch gears for the business owners. If you're like me, a lot of you are getting ready for your Black Friday sales. Um, and that's good. That's good. If that's what your season is, work it out. Don't I got something on this glass and it's just getting on my last nerve. Okay. And my cleaning towel is all the way across the room, and I dare not get up out this chair to go get it. So, all right, so let's see. That did it. As a business owner, you should already have it in place, and if not, you still got a little bit of time. Um, I'm going to say this for the entrepreneurs who are out here pushing and grinding. Um, a long time ago, I was in a conference and I heard we were on Zoom, and this lady, she didn't even have her camera on. I don't even know what she looks like to this day. And that's probably been about 4 or 5 years. But to hear, and I can still hear her voice, where she talked about how lonely entrepreneurship is, the pain in her voice, it still bothers me today, okay? Because she really sounded so hurt and alone, and not even alone, just lonely, because she didn't have a circle of people around her um, that she could work with that could encourage her, during those dry seasons as an entrepreneur. Okay. So let me say to my entrepreneurs, fellow business owners, especially those who are in the beginning stages, in the growing stages, because it can be hard when you don't have a circle of people around you to keep you motivated, when you don't have that community, right? So as you're preparing for the holidays and you're trying to get your idea out there, let me say this to you: don't give up. Do not give up on your idea. Do not give up on your business plan. Do not give up on the skill set that you have. Because if you do, that means that nobody will get to experience your gift. And gifts, blessings, they're meant to be shared. It's not just for you. God didn't give it just to you for you. He gave you that gift, that talent, that skill set, so that you could in turn bless other people with it. And so you snatch that from other people, and people don't get the blessing that comes from what you have because you gave up. Now listen, that's right, that's right. Listen, I do understand how hard it can be. I can understand when you get stuck and you don't know what to do, you don't know what to say, and you have no one to turn to. Reach out to me, or get you into a community that can help you. Or you might even be in a community and you're just not getting fed the things that you need to be fed so that you can grow. And so I like that sometimes I understand that sometimes the thing to do is to retreat, to give up, to put it off. It's not. You are this close to your breakthrough. You need people in your circle so that you can push forward. And when you can't push forward, they're there to push you forward. They're there to help you break through the obstacles and the barriers so that you can see your way through on the other side. That's why, as an entrepreneur, you need a coach, and probably several, depending on what you do. So let me say this: do not be afraid to invest in yourself, because you're not investing in the coach that you pay. You're investing in yourself so that you can gain the knowledge to make your business go further. I'm going to say that again just in case you missed it. Do not be afraid to invest in yourself, because you're not paying the coach. You're investing in you so that you can gain the knowledge that the coach has so your business can grow and go further. It's almost just like investing in the stock market. You put in 20, so and then while that stock explodes, when you pull it out, you can get 100, 1,000, 100,000, and so on and so forth. But it only costs you 20. So you do have to choose the right coach. Don't get me wrong. Now that can be the trial and error part, and sometimes more error than anything. Okay, but there are people out here, there are coaches that will train you, develop you, and push you to your greatness. So, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, don't continue to do it alone, because you don't have to. And I want you to remember that the Nicole Johnson told you that on this here day, you do not have to run this race alone. Now, if you choose to because you work better that way, then understand that that's a choice you're making. But everybody needs somebody. And when you're trying to grow, that means that you hit your ceiling on what you know how to do on your own. And now you need somebody that's going to bring you up and up and up. Okay? So don't be afraid. Reach out, um, and let's talk about getting you in a room with someone that can help you develop and hone in your skills because you got one in you. Okay, so, and I know that right around this time where everybody is expecting you to be producing or you're expecting yourself to produce, it can be hard when you're trying to do all the things all alone. Okay, so I want to take this moment to say thank you to Paulette, your girl Paulette, who is the founder and CEO of the Brownstone Worldwide, that houses KCCR Radio and Brownstone Blends. I got my blends when I saw Paulette a few weeks ago. Um, and so, the purpose of the brownstone, is so that you can we work together to change the narrative of our stories, for our people, so that in 50 years, 75 years, 100 years, if the earth is still turning on its axis and we're still here as a civilization, when they look back in history and they say, what was going on in 2022? What was going on in 2023? If the narrative is wrong, we are partially to blame for it. Okay, we are partially to blame for it. See, they can tell our story incorrectly, but if we don't tell our story, that's our fault. And if we don't work to change our narrative, they'll continue to tell it wrong. And we have blown an opportunity to get it corrected. Okay, so that's why I love being here on the Brownstone Worldwide. So be sure to click on that link, or go to that link and check out what all the things are going on with the Brownstone Worldwide. Okay, so make sure that you are participating in changing the narrative, and that starts right there in your own household, in your own community, right where you are. Okay, because when you change the community in which you live in, that starts to spread. You can be your own super spreader and changing and spreading positive information, positive images, positive, just positivity, period, in the people that you influence in your own circle. Okay. Um, So let's talk about these brownstone blends. Okay. I was in Atlanta at a conference in which I got to see and hang out with Paulette, of the Brownstone Worldwide, and some other people, some other business owners. As a matter of fact, a room full of business owners. So we spent 3 days together just pounding the pavement of ideas, support, and encouragement. And while I was there, I was able to pick up my brownstone blends directly. And so, last night, it's cold. Okay, it's cold here in Dallas, and it's cold here in Dallas. Like a few months ago, y'all was hearing me talk about how freaking hot it was here in Dallas. That has since left, and it is now cold here in Dallas. Now, for those who live here in Dallas, don't get talking to me about this cold. I don't care if I'm from Chicago and I should be used to cold weather. No, I lived in cold weather. I survived cold weather. I never got used to it. I don't care what you say, but this here weather ain't for me either. Okay, we was at a small. We had come down off the heat. We ain't have to drop down into the cold, but it's cold. All right, so cold season is a time when I like to make my comfort food. So last night I follow a recipe, and it's sweet and spicy chili. Okay, I did not make the cornbread. I'm trying to cut back on some of the breads and the starches, because when I make a cornbread, it's got to be honey flavored and and, and gooey and delicious and all those things. Okay, but so I just used oyster crackers in my. Y'all don't know nothing about that. Y'all don't know nothing about that. Y'all don't know nothing about them oyster crackers and the chili. Y'all know nothing about that. Okay, but then don't judge me. Okay, judge yourself. Judge yourself. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. But and I can tell in my brownstone blend, with using my brownstone blend, it's got a nice, thick cut in the season. It blends well and it is so flavorful. So if you have not tried Brownstone blends, when you go to Brownstone Worldwide, look for Brownstone blends and get your box. Okay, get your box. I think there were 4 different seasonings in there. And so she's got a medley of garlic, black pepper, salt, um, and I ain't gonna tell you what else she got in there. So go get you some brownstone blends. Okay, support a black business owner. And as you are, getting ready for your recipes for the holidays, those will come in perfect when you're making all your chicken, your dressing. Don't start because it's dinner time and your girl might get a little hungry if we spend too much time talking about food. Okay, we spend too much time talking about food. Here's the other thing I want to do as you're getting ready for the holidays. Before, and I do mean before you go to the grocery store, check your cabinets. Check your cabinets for how many seasonings you already have. I know us. I know me. When it comes to garlic powder, black pepper, we probably got 17 jars of each, 17 containers of each. Don't go buy no more. It's just an offense to your budget. It's an offense to your grocery list. It's an offense to your money to go buy 2 more of what you already had 15 of. Yes, I'm talking to you. If you sitting at the screen looking at someone, so who she thinks she talking to? You the one. You are the one. Um, One of the things that I challenged my community to do was go clean out their pantry where their seasonings were and see how many were outdated. Okay, some folks still use their seasonings, but regardless to the expiration date, and that's on you. Do what you do. Um, but the duplicates, the number of duplicates was almost comical. Okay, and I no longer felt bad because I knew I wasn't the only one. Okay, I know I got at least 4 bottles of garlic powder down there, probably 4 bottles of seasoned salt. Okay, all right, it's some multiple bottles of Italian seasoning, some thyme, uh, the smoked paprika. I know it's several of them down there, and some lemon pepper. And that's just off the top of my head as to what I saw when I was in there looking through the stuff yesterday. Okay, so and I said that to say this: as you're preparing for your holiday meals, you probably won't need to buy as much as you think you need to if you go check what you already have. Okay, that's just a little tip that will have a great and significant impact on your budget because, girl, your money matters. All right. Your money matters. I want to share with you, I want to invite you guys over to my Facebook group. This is one of the areas where I sit with the community. I give them tips and tricks and challenges on impacting their money. That is an everyday thing because people are at different stages of their budgeting life. And I say budgeting life because some people don't use one, some people don't have one, some people don't know how to make one, right? Or some people have a cute one on an app. It's on an app, and that's as far as it goes. But what I want them to do is to get into the habit of using their budget as often as they need to. So, and when I say as often as they need to, it's going to be different depending on you and your circumstances. Some people, once they make a budget and create a budget, they're good. Okay. And then at that point, my advice is to check your budget, go monthly, and then once things are stabilized, meaning that you got everything in a cycle, and but you don't go more than 3 months without reviewing your budget. But if something happens, you review your budget immediately so you can make adjustments. Um, when I started working towards helping women to become homeowners, the budget and the savings were the biggest areas in which people needed assistance. Okay. This is the hardest time of the year, the holiday season, where the vendors, the stores, I get more emails from Bath and Body, Walmart, um, Macy's, Kate Spade, Coach, all these stores. My email address is overflowing with advertisements. And if you're a TV watcher, you're seeing commercials more often. In that 3 minute span where you might have just used to be seeing two or three or four, now you're seeing six because they're picking up their advertisement spending to prey, on you, so that you feel the um, pressure of getting out to spend, right? Your kids are seeing more toys. And did y'all know Toys R Us was bad? I thought Toys R Us has closed their doors and was gone. I think Toys R Us is at Macy's now. Toys R Us is opening inside of Macy's. You know that catalog about that thick. Mommy, Daddy, I want this, I want this. And you tell them to go in there and flag that and use up a whole tab, a whole pack of tabs, and got something on every page with an X in it. I want or a circle. I want this, I want this, I want this. Right? So especially for the younger children, your children are older, they might not want as many things, but their list is more expensive. Okay? Right? They coming close to the mortgage payment. Their gifts come close to the mortgage payment or utility bill or car note, car insurance. You're like, wait, what? Oh, okay. So this is a harder time of the year for people to stick to their budgets, especially if they have not saved throughout the year to get ready for this season. Now listen, I'm not telling you not to spend. I'm not telling you not to buy. That's your money. You do what you want to do. But for those of you who are in a season where your money looking funny, right? You talk considering skipping bills to shop for gifts and things for the holidays. I need you to not do that. I need you to not do that because your money matters. And I'm focused on helping you create income in this season and not debts. See, at the top of the year, when I go into my vision board party, right? I go into my vision board party and I have a whole thing for the community. And I'm actually extending the invitation. If you guys want to know more about that, make sure you join the Facebook group. That's where all of the happenings are going on. Um, I'm extending the invitation to some other communities through other influencers. And we really hone in on what is it that we need to focus on. The biggest thing becomes those credit card bills that we ran up between November and December, trying to, I don't know what you were trying to do, but those those November, December credit card bills, when they hit in January, folk are unhappy. Okay, they are unhappy because they don't know what to do. Now they got to sit and try to figure out a plan on how to recover from that. And so, what I'm trying to do is I'm a proactive person. And sometimes being proactive gets me in trouble. But in this scenario, okay, in this scenario, being proactive is a great help. It is actually a strategy. Didn't we start out talking about strategy and how you need a strategy to do X, Y, and Z and Z, Y, and X? That's it. It's strategy. So being proactive with what we're trying to do is what's going to help us make sure that we're creating income and not debts in this season, so that come January, those bills are not hitting the way they are for everybody else. They're not hitting the way that they are for everybody else. So over in the community, I've got a handful of ladies who have taken a leap, and now they are in training. And what they're going to be counting in January, instead of bills, they're counting deposits. See, they've started doing the mystery shopping. They've started generating income for November and December. So in January, when folks are looking at their bills coming in, these ladies sitting down talking about, so okay, that deposit was made, that deposit was made, that deposit was made, ching, ching, and cha-ching. There's a difference. There's an absolute difference. So this is what I want you all to get in the mindset of doing. And you can find out more information about that over in the Facebook community, where we are creating income and not debts during this holiday season. Some of them have a plan. Their beginning of the December money is going to be their holiday fund. Nothing wrong with that, because they're spending money that they made and they're not taking away from anything that they already have. That's fine. Some of us are spending money we ain't got. That's why we swiping in credit cards. And we'll figure out later how to pay it. But it's time to change our mindset on how we do that. So as you go into these holidays, getting ready for this season, I want you to think about it. Think about the amount of debt you have now, today, and how much do you want to have as of January 1st? Do you want to cut that number in half? Do you want to wipe that number out? Or do you want to see that number go up? Which one is it? Got to make a choice. This is how you start with your projections. This is how you start with your preparation. Where are you now and where do you want to be? Notice this hand was up higher. Where are you now and where do you want to be? Because you don't want to be where are you now and down. Mm-mm. In this season, we're rising, we're elevating, we're executing. Success moves at the speed of execution. And so the amount of debt that you have right now, based on what you do, the choices you make, can go down, down, and then disappear, right? We're always gonna have some form of debt, whether it's a car note, whether it's the monthly expenses, but it doesn't have to be as high. Doesn't have to be as high. Okay, doesn't have to be as high. So I'm glad to have been able to spend this time with you guys to talk about the holiday preparation. As I told you before, the Brownstone Worldwide is a place where we have the opportunity to change the narrative for our people. And we start by changing it for ourselves. We start with self, the man in the mirror, and then work our way out. We work our way out. Okay. Um, so I want you to get your mind wrapped around this. We are bringing you, Paulette and I have done some planning for the Brownstone and for Girl Your Money Matters. And coming up, I am doing the vision board party. There'll be more information about that coming out soon for you. But join the community group here right on Facebook, and you'll be able to find out more information about that. We'll be doing a mini economic retreat virtually in January, and preparing from that retreat, we'll be doing a full economic summit in April of 2023. See, we're already planning and projecting into next year. Okay. And that's just the first quarter of next year and then April. So we're already working on things that are going to change your narrative. Okay, that's going to change your narrative. And what I want you to do is to take some time to think about what is it that you need to do, and start by writing it down. If I showed you how many journal books I have, and I don't even count the digital ones. Ooh, have mercy. But get you one. And it doesn't have to be anything special. Get you a notebook. You know, some days I write my things down, and as you see, it's right here. I write on index cards. Okay. I have some notes right here that I've taken for myself. Just some words, and they mean something to me, but they're right here on the back of an index card. Take my notes and stuff like that. I'm good for writing down figures, okay, on an index card. You don't need to see what they are, but they're there. All right. This is some stuff, just hey, some things I needed to remember, and I keep them right here. Keep them right there. So when you write things down, that hand-eye coordination, I learned it in law school. I forget what the whole psychology, there's a psychology thing behind it, but it's supposed to, you know, it's supposed to help you commit things to memory more when you are actually writing it out. Um, so it's supposed to be able to be recalled easier because you've written it out. So, but I like to write things out so that I don't forget, and then I use it as a reminder. Okay, I use it as a reminder. So as we are wrapping up tonight, I just want to do a brief recap. I want you to know that if you are going into this holiday season physically by yourself, I want you to nurture your alone time with you, because this might not be the season. You might not always have these seasons of just you. So get to know you, spend time with you, enjoy it. Okay, enjoy that, um, and prepare yourself to be okay with being alone with you. Doesn't mean you have to be lonely, but get out if you need to. Get out, do some things, and it's definitely okay. All right, there's nothing wrong with that. Um, when you if you're spending time with family, enjoy it. Make great memories. Build stronger bonds. Get to know some parts of the people that you call your family that you didn't know. All right. Create and build those bonds. If your bonds are strong, make them stronger. Love all on each other. Make some great memories. Okay. Um, don't be pressured as we move into the shopping season. Don't be pressured to spend money that you don't have. Let's break that habit. Don't be pressured to spend money that you don't have. I want you to enjoy the holiday season without the stress of spending money that you don't have. Okay. And I encourage you to join the Girl Your Money Matters community so you can learn how to create income and not debts during this holiday season. Right now, they're trekking to make a minimum of $1,000 over the next 30 days. All right. And they started this a couple of weeks ago. So they are in their trek. Okay. And they're already about 75% there. So in the community, you'll start seeing their testimonies because they had some test calls. The part of the process that they're working on in order to get onto the call center platform, they have to perform a test call, which is the last obstacle between generating the money and studying to get to the platform. And so several of them posted that we had our test call yesterday. Now I'm done. I'm done. I passed. I passed. And so now they're into the income generating part. And what they need now is a strategy. And once they have access to the platform, I'm going to show them how to stack those coins. Right? I'm going to show them, okay, this is what you do. This is how you do this. This is how you do that. This is how you do that. See, for the business owners, I want you to hear what I just told them. Now that they're on the platform, they're going to have somebody that's going to go in and show them how to get their most profitability out of it. See, they have to have somebody guide them in a strategic manner so that they can know more and grow more. You got to have a circle. You see how they work together? Got to have a circle. Okay. So, um, and business owners, don't be afraid to reach out and get in a circle, right? Get in a circle of people that are going to push you. I've always said this, if you are the smartest bulb in the bunch, it's okay to be the influence for them because you're helping to bring them up. But you need to be in a circle where you're not the smartest bulb in the bunch so somebody can pour into you and bring you up. See, if you're in the circle and all you're doing is pouring into other people, what did I just say? You can't pour from an empty cup. You can pour into them because they're in a learning stage and you're at the top of that learning circle. So you're pouring and you're pouring and you're pouring. But when you turn your cup, when your cup is like this and nobody's pouring into you, eventually you're going to get burned out, pouring and pouring and pouring. Or you're always just going to be the one who pours into others and nobody's pouring into you. Nobody's lifting you up. Okay, but you're steady seeing the people around you come up because you're teaching them. Who's teaching you? Okay, so you have to be in a start. I learned a long time ago. As long as I'm breathing, I'm learning. My pastor said, when you stop learning, you're dead. I thought it was kind of harsh. I was a young adult when he said that, but now I see that every day I learn something. Okay, every day I learn something. And as an entrepreneur and a business owner, you're into a space that's new to you that you don't know everything about. You can't know all the things. And so you need somebody pouring into you. Okay, so don't be afraid to do that. Um, I hope this has been some good information for you guys. I am excited to feature Girl Your Money Matters here on the Brownstone Worldwide, brought to you by your girl Paulette. Make sure that you go over to Brownstone Worldwide and check out those brownstone blends. And I'm sure it's gonna be a whole bunch of other stuff on there that may be of interest to you. Okay, but as you guys are going to, you can also go over to my website, girlyourmoneymatters.com, because I have a whole session coming up on Tuesday, November 22nd. And we're going to spend 1 solid hour together talking specifically about how you can create income and not debts during this season. Okay. How you can create income and not debts during this season. So go over there and get registered. And on Tuesday, November 22nd, we're going to talk about just how these ladies are in their process of generating at least $1,000 over the next 30 days, but they seem to be quite hungry and they're going more on the end of 3 to 5. They're going to be the ones I told you that in January are going to be counting their deposits, not their bills. And if you want to get in on that, I invite you to get registered and join me there. Okay. So I have enjoyed our time together. Um, Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Make sure that if you're watching us on the um, on the YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe, click like and subscribe so you can get notifications as to when a new show has posted. Um, and then stay involved. Stay involved. Be sure to like and share because somebody else besides you who got this information needs this information. All right. So I am excited to be able to talk to you guys here. And at any time, if you have any questions, you feel free to reach out to me. My name is Nicole Johnson, and you'll find my contact information on Girl Your Money Matters. Or you can also go over to the Facebook group. Join me there at Girl Your Money Matters. That's the name of the Facebook community on here on Facebook as well, because it takes support. Honestly, it takes support. When women are dealing with money matters, it's all kinds of issues going on, and it's not. They don't always feel safe to be able to discuss it, right? Um, they're holding the family together as best they can, and they want to keep up appearances. And to actually tell somebody out loud that they're struggling, sometimes it's just not a safe space. But over at Girl Your Money Matters, it is a safe space. It is absolutely the best and safe place for you to discuss the failures that you're experiencing or the failures that you've experienced but you haven't recovered from. See, don't think that we don't all have failures. We do. It's in the recovery that you can find how to win. Okay, I tell them over there, I did not come to play with you. I came to help you win. All right, so I'm so glad that we had this time together. On next Tuesday, on next Monday, we are going to have a special show, a special discussion about your financial affairs. You absolutely don't want to miss this um, because it is something that in our community, and this is how I'm helping to change the narrative, in our community, we don't have a will. We don't have medical directives. We don't have power of attorneys. And I'm going to help you get set up that night on your way to making sure that you get a will done, making sure that you get a medical directive done, making sure that if you need a power of attorney, you have a way, a very structured way from a reputable law firm to get it done. Did you hear what I said? A reputable law firm. Don't miss it. Okay. So, once again, thank you so much for joining Girl Your Money Matters here on the Brownstone Worldwide and KCCR Radio. Until we meet again, you guys stay safe, watch the dollars that you spend, and know it's not in the budget. I said it there now. Good night.